Hello everyone, very good afternoon to all the viewers of the Legal Game, and we are back with part 2 of our current affair quiz. A lot of exciting questions we dealt with yesterday, and today once again we'll be dealing with some other very exciting, all very new current affair questions. All of this is to prepare all of you prior to the all India mock test that we are conducting for the CLAT examination. All of this is to fine tune your preparation for the examination with a mix of legal GK plus static plus other kind of questions. Okay, so with this, in today's session I have a mix of questions about sports, legal GK primarily, and some about day and dates. This is a mixture. We will be following the very same timeline, which is that we will have a timer set, that is a 60-second time period for you to answer the questions, and then we will have a set of questions. So post that I'll tell you the answers. The notes of all these will also be uploaded on the Google Drive. So if you are ready, if you're all set, let's dive into the quiz. Now, before I do that, I also want to inform you that as we are getting closer to the examination, we will also be discussing other past year's paper. Okay, so one of them will be ALET 2019. I am conducting a free special class today at 9:30 p.m. to discuss the ALET paper of 2019. Now remember, unlike CLAT, ALET's question paper pattern has not changed. Okay, so this is a good time for you to do your revision of the ALET paper if you are very serious about NLU Delhi. Okay, so with that, let's dive into. You can subscribe to this particular class using the Learners app of Unacademy. The link to it is in the description box. So all you have to do is click on that particular link, okay, and then you will be able to access this class. What all do you need to do? Just download the Learners app and participate in the class at 9:30 p.m. How can you do it? You can use the code KUSHGK to access this class for totally free of cost. Okay, now before I move on with the quiz, I want to remind all of you that on December 19 at 5 p.m. we are conducting our Unacademy All India CLAT mock test. This test will be the one that will deal with the entire syllabus of the CLAT paper. Okay, and this test will also be coming up with a handsome rewards. What are these rewards? These rewards include rank 1 will get an iPad mini, while rank 2 will get an Amazon voucher worth 10,000 rupees, and rank 3 will get an Amazon voucher worth 5,000 rupees, while rank 4 to 10 will get Amazon vouchers worth 500 rupees. All you have to do is use the invite code KUSHGK to log into the test. Okay, the test will be a full syllabus one. It will happen on December 19 at 5 p.m. So don't forget to participate in it. Alright, so with that, let's begin the quiz. 60 seconds to answer each question. Don't cheat while answering the questions. Okay? Okay, so we have the clock ready for all of you. And on the right hand corner, whenever 60 seconds are up, we will move on to the next question. So all questions are in MCQ formats. How will you mark yourself? 4 marks for correct questions, -1 for an incorrect one. So with this, let's begin. Keep your pens ready. The first question. Solicitor General of India is provided within which article of Constitution of India? The current Solicitor General is Tushar Mehta. Under which article of the Indian Constitution is this provided? A. Article 248, B. Article 77, C. Article 125, or D. None of the above. 60 seconds to answer the question. All right, keep your answers in the chat box for those who are joining us live. Be very careful. We also have an Attorney General of India. So remember, in that regard, you need to answer this question. The correct answer to this question is D. None of the above. Why? Solicitor General of India is a non-constitutional position. A non-constitutional position. Okay, it is a executive position. भारत के संविधान में कहीं भी सॉलिसिटर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया के बारे में मेंशन्ड नहीं है, ठीक है. द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डज नॉट मेंशन अबाउट दिस. दिस इज अ वेरी ट्रिक क्वेश्चन. बहुत बार डिफरेंट एग्जाम्स में पूछा गया है. सो प्लीज याद रखिए कि ये एक एग्जीक्यूटिव पोजीशन है, नॉन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन है, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, Institute of Eminence is a recognition provided by which Ministry of India? Option A, Prime Minister's Office or the PMO. B, Ministry of Home Affairs. C, Ministry of Education. Or D, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Which is the ministry that gives the tag Institute of Eminence to institutions in India? Is it A, PMO, B, Ministry of Home Affairs, C, Education, or D, Human Resource Development? All right. The answer to this question is C, Education. Ministry of Education is the one that provides the tag of Institute of Eminence. Why are we talking about it? Because recently 6 more institutions of India have been added to Institute of Eminence tag in India. ये पहली बार हुआ है. अब as an addition in the winter session of the parliament, therefore we have to talk about it. हमें ये पता होना चाहिए, ठीक है. So Ministry of Education is the ministry that gives the recognition. Next question, governor's power to remit is provided under which article of Constitution of India? Remission का मतलब होता है किसी की सजा कम कर देना. Okay, remission relates to reduction of sentence. जैसे कि किसी को 10 साल की सजा दी गई है, वो 7 साल कर दी गई है, तो वो कौन से आर्टिकल के अंदर प्रोवाइड करी गई है? टू गवर्नर्स. ये अभी न्यूज में इसलिए है क्योंकि on 15th December, Supreme Court was supposed to hear the petition of Rajiv Gandhi convicts, assassination convict. That hearing has now been deferred to January 20th. वो गवर्नर की पावर ऑफ रेमिशन से रिलेट करती है. इस वजह से ये क्वेश्चन काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये एक आर्टिकल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है. सो द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन is A, Article 161. Article 161 is very similar to the one for the President of India, where the governor has the power to remit, reduce the sentence. इसके अंदर the governor can deal with everything except death penalty. सजाए मौत के अलावा कोई भी सजा है अगर किसी को दी गई है under state laws, देन उसकी सजा गवर्नर कम कर सकते हैं, इवन टू द लिमिट ऑफ 0 पनिशमेंट. पार्डन, दिस इज नोन एज गवर्नर्स पावर ऑफ पार्डन. क्या कहते हैं इसको? गवर्नर्स power to pardon. Up there was a question, Institute of Eminence. What is the Institute of Eminence? Institute of Eminence is a UGC scheme. ठीक है, इसके अंदर क्या होता है? There is a state support. Under this, state support is granted by UGC. मतलब पैसा मिलता है to run various other projects. ओके, या फिर some amount of expenditure of the university is footed by the UGC. Okay, these institutions are also granted some amount of autonomy in terms of their syllabus. Okay, there are 3 private institutions and winter session से पहले तक 12 सरकारी colleges थे जिनको ये दिया गया था. In total 15. That has now increased. Okay, इस weekend we will do a weekly revision, तब we will talk about that. Okay, next question now. Anti-defection law is provided within which schedule of Indian Constitution? Total 12 schedules है हमारे Constitution में. So कौन से schedule के अंदर anti-defection law के बारे में बताया गया है? The rules related to anti-defection law are within which schedule of the Indian Constitution? Is it A, Schedule 12, B, Schedule 1, C, Schedule 10, or D, Schedule 7? Which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with anti-defection law? मतलब ban on दल बदल या दल बदल कानून को रोकने वाला कानून. The law to prevent shifting of allegiance of MLAs and MPs in the House. It is governed by which schedule? The answer to this question is C, Schedule 10. Okay, Schedule 10 brought in 1985 through an amendment of the Constitution is the one that deals with anti-defection law. This one prohibits a member of the assembly to be or become a member of another political party. You cannot shift your allegiance during the tenure of the House. If you give it up or if you change allegiance, then you have to give up your membership to the House. Now, next question. Which authority can determine the nature of a bill as money bill? भारत के संविधान के हिसाब से there are 2 kinds of legislations. One is a money bill, the other is a non-financial bill. Okay, or any ordinary law. Which authority under Indian Constitution has the power to determine whether a bill is a money bill or not? A, Rajya Sabha Chairman, B, President of India, C, Prime Minister of India, or D, Lok Sabha Speaker? This is also very important question. ALET के अंदर ये question 2 साल पहले पूछा गया था. So the answer to this question is D. Lok Sabha Speaker under the Indian Constitution has the power to determine the nature of a money bill. ये जो power है ये exclusively लोक सभा स्पीकर के अंडर डोमेन में आता है. Recently in a constitution judgment of the आधार बिल, ठीक है, उसके अंदर इस पावर को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली सैक्रोसेंट कहा गया था. मतलब इवन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट कैन नॉट इंटरफियर इनटू द जजमेंट ऑफ द लोकसभा स्पीकर if he or she decides to decide a bill as a money bill or a ordinary bill. सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी इंटरफेयर नहीं कर सकती है इस पावर में. This is what was held in the Aadhaar judgment. Okay. Then next, collegium system is mentioned in which article of the Indian Constitution? भारत के अंदर the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court and High Court is done through the collegium system. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the collegium system? Collegium का कौन कौन member होता है? The Chief Justice along with 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court. Now, which article points out that the collegium will be the one who will decide upon the appointment of judges to Supreme Court and High Court? Is it Article 248, B Article 77, C Article 125, or D none of the above? The answer to this question is also none of the above. Collegium system was an invention of the Supreme Court in a 1992 judgment. भारत की Supreme Court ने in a judgment in 1992, which was the Association of Advocates of Supreme Court versus Union of India. In that, the existing system of the Constitution was challenged, and the Supreme Court then decided कि all right, we will have a collegium, that is the judiciary will determine on its own. Then in 2015, the current government wanted to change the system to a National Judicial Appointment Commission. That bill was also shot down by the Supreme Court in a Supreme Court judgment, or known as the NJAC judgment. उस judgment के हिसाब से भी collegium system was held as the correct one. Okay, so Indian Constitution में mentioned नहीं है, but it is through a court of Supreme Court judgment. अब Supreme Court judgments can be a binding law as per Article 142, where the court has the right to do absolute justice in India. Okay, then next question. This is related to World Chess Championship. Someone retained the chess championship. So who was the 2021 World Chess Championship winner? Was it A. Alexia Putellas, B. Magnus Carlsen, C. Vishwanathan Anand, or D. Ian Nemoponchiti? Who won the 2021 World Chess Championship? This is again a current affairs question, very recent related. Okay. The answer to this question is Norway's Magnus Carlsen. He has retained his chess championship title for the 4th time and is now a winner of the chess championship for a total of 5 times. Okay, and he defeated Ian Nemoponchiti in the matchup. Okay, he was the challenger and Magnus Carlsen was the champion. Vishwanathan Anand had twice failed to defeat Magnus Carlsen. It was Magnus Carlsen when he won his first chess championship that he had defeated Vishwanathan Anand. Okay, so with this he is now the World Chess Championship winner for 5 times. Okay, then who was the first women winner of the World Chess Championship? For women category, we have a different championship. Okay, so who was the first women winner of the World Chess Championship? Was it A. Vera Menchik, B. Beth Harmon, C. Ludmila Rudenko, or D. Maya Tribuzin-Danze? A. Vera Menchik, B. Beth Harmon, C. Lyudmila Rudenko, or D. Maya Tribuzin-Danze. Okay, that's a Czech name, so apologies if I get the pronunciation a little off, right? Okay. All right. The answer to this question is Vera Menchik, and the year is 1927. Okay, Vera Menchik won the World Chess Championship in 1927 for the very first time. Okay, then Lyudmila Rudenko was the next women chess champion. She had defeated Menchik. All right. Then once she passed away, Maya Tribuzin-Danze was until 2010 the youngest world chess championship in terms of women. She was only at the age of 17 had become the world chess championship. Okay, Beth Harmon is a name borrowed from a Queen's Gambit TV show of Netflix. Then the most successful driver in Formula 1 with highest number of Grand Prix wins is. So this is again a very recent current affairs question. It is something related to the world of Formula 1. This has happened again in 2021 season of Formula 1. So very recent news. Is it A. Niki Lauda, B. Sebastian Vettel, C. Lewis Hamilton, or D. Michael Schumacher? Who is the most successful driver in Formula 1 with the highest number of Grand Prix wins? Is it A. Niki Lauda, B. Sebastian Vettel, C. Lewis Hamilton, or D. Michael Schumacher? Use the live chat for those who are watching us live to answer this question. The answer to it is C. Lewis Hamilton. Option number C, Lewis Hamilton with 103 Grand Prix wins is the most successful F1 driver. Okay, Michael Schumacher comes second with 91 wins. Sebastian Vettel is fifth. Okay, so it is Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes AMG with 103 Grand Prix wins. Okay, then the next question. India's first individual gold medal winner in Summer Olympics. So 2021 was the year of Summer Olympics, that is the delayed or postponed Tokyo Olympics. They happened this year. So, and in that India achieved its highest Summer Olympics medal tally. But when did we win and who won our very first individual gold medal winner? We have had gold medals in the game of hockey, but post that we have had two other gold medal winners in individual sports. Is it A. Neeraj Chopra, B. Abhinav Bindra, C. Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, or D. Deepa Karmakar? Alright, the answer to this question is B. Abhinav Bindra. Abhinav Bindra achieved this achievement in 2008 Beijing Olympics. Okay, Neeraj Chopra is the second gold medal winner. He achieved it in 2020 Tokyo Olympics. So he is second individual India's gold medal winner. Okay, it's the second one that he got in javelin. That is 2020 Tokyo. Right? Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore was a medal winner but not a gold medal winner in the Athens game of 2004. Okay, and Deepa Karmakar was an Olympic participant. She's an Olympian in gymnastics. She came to a whisker of a medal in gymnastics in 2016 Rio Olympics. With this, so if you have stayed with me till now, then I want to take out this time to introduce myself to all of you. I'm Kushagra Goyal, a graduate from National Law University, a Master's in Economics. I've assisted students to achieve AIR 4, AIR 16 in CLAT 2021, 100 plus CLAT selections. Plus, when I tell you that a question has a chance of coming in the GK section, I tell it with some authority and some success ratio. Why? Because this year I conducted a YouTube series that got 90% of the GK sections of the CLAT paper correct. So, and if you want to join my community of learners, then you should join my Telegram channel, that is Kushagra Goyal, the legal game _ Unacad. This is the channel where all the learners interact with me, participate with me, and if they have any doubts, they can connect with me there. Also, all the sessions that I conduct, the notes of those sessions are available on the link on the Google Drive, which is available through the link bit.ly/kushgk notes. If you have any doubts related to any questions, you can comment about them here. Okay? Then we move on. So let's go back to our quiz now and look at other set of questions. The next question is, reservation as an exception to right to equality is provided in what article? What article of the Indian Constitution permits the state or the Indian government to create reservation, even to the extent for economically weaker sections? What power or where is it provided in the Indian Constitution? Is it A, Article 16, B, Article 14, C, Article 21, or D, Article 27? Which is the one that gives the state the power to create an exception? Always remember, reservation is an exception to Article of right to equality, which is a fundamental right. So this exceptional power is provided within which article of the Indian Constitution? Alright, this is a very important question and the answer is A, Article 16. Article 16 of the Indian Constitution provides the state with the power to create reservation in different categories. Nothing in this constitution will prevent the state from creating affirmative action to the extent of reservation to those of weaker sections of the society in different aspects. Okay, this extends up to the level of promotions in jobs. So it is Article 16 of the Indian Constitution, which is a exception to Article 14, that is right to equality. Okay, so Article 16, option A. Then the preamble was amended once. भारत के इतिहास में हमारा preamble एक बार amend हुआ है. The amendment is also known as a mini constitution. अपने आप में the amendment was so huge that it is called a mini constitution. Tell its number. कौन सा number था उस mini constitutional amendment का? Was it A 44th, B 10th, C 42nd, or D 91st Amendment Act? Which one provided or is known as a mini constitution, an amendment to the constitution that was in itself known as a mini constitution. The answer to this question is C. 42nd Amendment Act. The one brought in during the emergency time period or the 42nd Amendment Act. इस Amendment Act के अंदर not only preamble but even the tenure of Lok Sabha was extended to 6 years. Exclusive immunity was granted to the Prime Minister under this from any kind of cases which would have prevent any wrongdoing. Whatever the Prime Minister may do, that would have become immune. All of this was then overturned through a 44th Amendment Act, but it retained some changes of the 42nd, but 42nd was so humongous in its size that it is also known as a mini constitution. Then next, name the individual with the highest number of Nobel Prizes. We all know that Nobel Prizes are awarded every year. Which individual has the highest number of Nobel Prizes? Is it A. Abhijit Banerjee, B. Mahatma Gandhi, C. Marie Curie, or D. Albert Einstein? I'll give some hints. Abhijit Banerjee in economics, Mahatma Gandhi probably in peace, Marie Curie in 2 categories, and Albert Einstein in physics. Okay, so which among them is the person with the highest number of Nobel Prizes? Alright. So the answer to this question is C. Marie Curie. Okay, Marie Curie is the only person to have been awarded 2 Nobel Prizes. One in 1903 and the other in 1911 for her work in radioactivity. This was in chemistry and then this was for physics. So she has been awarded the prize in 2 categories, that is chemistry and physics, both of them. Okay, so the legendary Marie Curie, her family has also had 2 other Nobel laureates, which makes the Curie family the most successful family in terms of Nobel Prizes. Her family has produced, including herself, 4 Nobel laureates of the world. No other family has till now produced that many Nobel Prize laureates. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi was never awarded the Nobel Prize. Okay, but 1948's Nobel Peace Prize was not awarded because it was slated to have been awarded to Gandhiji, but by the time the announcement would have happened, he had been assassinated. Then Abhijit Banerjee in 2019 in economics only once, and Albert Einstein in 1921 for his work on relativity. Okay, then the Nobel Prizes are awarded every year on one particular day. That day is also known as Nobel Prize Day. So what is that date when the Nobel Prizes are awarded? Is it A. December 1, B. November 26, C. December 10, or D. November the 30th? Which date, or what is the date on which Nobel Prizes are awarded every year? Alright. The answer to this question is C, December 10, which is the anniversary of Alfred Nobel. Okay. On the death anniversary of Alfred Nobel, when the will of his was revealed, for which the Nobel Prizes are named after. Okay, so on that date only, each year the Nobel Prize ceremony takes place. So it is December the 10th. Then the next name is related to the India-Bangladesh war, okay, or the India-Pakistan war for Bangladesh liberation. After that war was an agreement that was signed. So I've given a lot of hints. Name the Prime Minister under whom the Shimla Agreement was signed. Was it A. Indira Gandhi, B. Jawaharlal Nehru, C. Narendra Modi, or D. Chaudhry Charan Singh? Who was the Prime Minister under whom the Shimla Agreement was signed? A. Indira Gandhi, B. Jawaharlal Nehru, C. Narendra Modi, or D. Chaudhry Charan Singh? This is a very, very important agreement because this year we celebrate 50 years of Bangladesh Liberation War. So thus it is a standout year in terms of what has transpired in eastern India, okay, for liberation of Bangladesh, and thus the Prime Minister who played a leading role was also the one who signed the agreement for peace for the end of the war, okay, and that is Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Option A, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi is the one who signed the 1972 Shimla Agreement, okay. After the end of war, 1972 में Shimla Agreement was signed. This was undertaken by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Then next is a true or false statement. Prime Minister Modi is the only Prime Minister to be born in independent India to this date. Among all the Prime Ministers India has had, we have only had one of them to be born in independent India. Is that so? Is it Prime Minister Modi? Remember, Rajiv Gandhi, when he had become Prime Minister, was also very, very young. But is this statement to be true, that Prime Minister Modi is the only Prime Minister to be born in independent India to this date? We are celebrating 75th year of India's independence this year. So thus it is a very pertinent fact related to political GK. Alright, the answer to this question is true. Prime Minister Modi is the only PM till now to be born in independent India. Okay, Rajiv Gandhi was born 2 years prior to India's independence, so he was also not born in independent India. Everyone else had been born prior to India's independence. Most of them, particularly the first two Prime Ministers along with Morarji Desai, had been pioneer in India's freedom struggle, that is Jawaharlal Nehru and Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. Okay, then next, this year Government of India, to celebrate tribal culture, decided to celebrate which date as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, to facilitate, promote, tell the world about the uniqueness of tribal culture of India from different parts of India. We decided to grant a specific day in remembrance of their culture. Is it A, November 14, B, November 15, C, November 10, or D, November 20th? This is again a very current issue. It is part of the government policy related to promotion of tribal welfare. Thus, it stands out for us for our examination preparation. Okay, so the answer to this question is 15th of November Option B. That day from now on will be celebrated as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. It also marks the birth anniversary of Birsa Munda. Okay, so it is in mark of that, plus as a particular date to celebrate the tribal culture. Okay, so Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, November the 15th, every year will be celebrated. Then, when was the first Ramanujan Prize awarded? So, was it A 2005, B 2014, C 1985, or D 1998? Srinivasa Ramanujan, a pioneer of mathematics, had passed away very early in his career. But we celebrate his life as National Mathematics Day. His birthday is celebrated that. We also award a prize in his name to young mathematicians under the age of 45 from developing countries. So, when was this award initiated and first awarded? Okay, this year's award has been given to a woman, which was announced yesterday. Okay, so thus I felt it was fitting to discuss this question today itself. When was the award first given? See, there are 2-3 things about an award that become important. Its founding, when it was first given, and the other details related to it. Okay, the current winner. But the award is a very latest one. It was first awarded in 2005 only. Okay, inception of the idea happened in 2004 and the first award was given in 2005. Okay, Ramanujan had passed away way back in 1920 at the age of 30. Okay, so Srinivasan Ramanujan had no formal training in pure mathematics before he was admitted to the Trinity College. Is it true or false? Regarding him, because he passed away at such an early age and is seen as one of the marvels of human mathematics and pure number theory, did he have any formal training before he joined the Trinity College for his thesis work, or the lost notebook as we call it, the numbers that made him famous as a mathematician? Did he have any formal training or not? So is this statement true or false? Alright, the answer to this question is true. Srinivasa Ramanujan, when he was found, had no formal training in mathematics whatsoever. He believed that numbers and their understanding had come naturally to him. It was unbelievable for his PhD thesis professors and the peers at Trinity College to believe that someone with no training in mathematics had created such theorems and mathematical systems. Okay, then the next one, this is regarding legal GK. Marital rape in India attracts what kind of penalty? Conditional liability, absolute liability, C no liability, or D none of the above? Marital rape in India attracts what? Conditional liability, that is you are only limited liable, absolutely liable, not liability, okay, or none of the above. Is it a criminal offense? If not, then there will be no liability. If it is an offense, then there could be absolute or conditional. Or if you are unsure about the kind of liability it attracts, then none of the above. Alright, so the answer to this question is no liability. In India, marital rape attracts no liability. Indian Criminal Code does not presume non-consensual sexual intercourse within a marriage. It presumes a implied consent regarding two marital spouses. Then the next one, this is related to chief guest of the Republic Day Parade. Remember, this year the Republic Day Parade had no guests, but the British Prime Minister had been invited. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth II is the longest serving monarch of United Kingdom. Which year was she the chief guest of the Republic Day Parade? Was it A 1961, B 1964, C 2020 or D 1959? When was she the chief guest of the Republic Day Parade? Was it this year or in 1961, 64, 59 or 2020? Britain and its history related to being guest at the Republic Day Parade is rather curious one, because they have had been invited multiple times and they are related to the 2021 Republic Day guest parade, right? So therefore, if there is a question about it, it could happen about the Queen. Okay, so the answer to this question is 1961. That is the only time Queen Elizabeth has been the chief guest of the Republic Day Parade. Okay, in 1964 it was Lord Mountbatten. In 1959 it was her consort, that is Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, and in 2020 it was supposed to be the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, that is Boris Johnson. Okay, then next, which institution of India does the latest CEO of Google hail from? Big MNC's CEOs are now mostly Indian Americans, but they are also a shining light of brain drain from India. So which institution did the latest CEO of Google, that is Sundar Pichai, hail from? His undergrad was from which institution? IIT Guwahati, B IIT Kharagpur, C IIT Bombay or D IIT Madras? IIT Kharagpur grad. IIT Kharagpur of West Bengal, option B is the alma mater from which Sundar Pichai hails from. He did his undergrad, that is BTech, from IIT Kharagpur. Then next, Delhi's Firod Shah Kotla Stadium were recently renamed after a former finance minister of India. Name him. Was it A. Narendra Modi, B. Jaswant Singh, C. Sushma Swaraj or D. Arun Jaitley? The Delhi Stadium of Cricket, that is Firod Shah Kotla, was recently renamed after a former finance minister of India. So, who was it named after? What is the new name of the stadium? Is it A. Narendra Modi, B. Jaswant Singh, C. Sushma Swaraj or D. Arun Jaitley? Alright, the answer to this question is D. Arun Jaitley. Arun Jaitley was the former president of the DDCA, that is Delhi Cricket Association. So it was in his memory that the Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium was now renamed as Arun Jaitley Stadium. Okay. Then the next one, World Heritage Sites most India edition. Okay, so each year there are certain new sites that are added to by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. Which of them is the most recent addition? Is it A. Ramappa Temple, B. Dholavira in Gujarat, C. Heritage City of Ahmedabad, or D. both A and B? So this is related to current affairs again, 2021 news. This is also part of your CLAT cycle for your preparation. So is it A. Ramappa Temple in South India, B. Dholavira, which is a Harappan Valley civilization city, or C. Heritage City of Ahmedabad, or D. both Ramappa Temple and Dholavira? That is option A and B, both of them as option D. The answer to this question is D, both A and B. Dholavira and Ramappa Temple, both of them have been added as a World Heritage Site of Culture, okay, by UNESCO this year. Then the next one. The next Winter Olympics are marred in diplomatic boycotts and postures. Name the host city of the next games, that is 2022. The Winter Olympics are next going to be held in A. Beijing, B. Dubai, C. Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, or D. Moscow. Diplomatic boycott is when you do not send any official to the country which is hosting the game. Diplomatic boycott. India has criticized diplomatic boycotts recently. It called that sports or sporting event should be called for its sporting measure and should not be used for political posturing. Therefore, India calls for all sporting events to be kept out of politics. So, which is the host city of the 2022 Winter Olympics? Is it A. Beijing, B. Dubai, C. Jeddah, or D. Moscow? 4 countries have announced that they will be diplomatically boycotting the next Winter Olympics. So therefore it is a very important news for us. The answer to this question is A. Beijing in China. After 2008 Summer Olympics, Beijing is hosting the Winter Olympics in a very recent time. For the very first time they are hosting them. Okay, no city has till now hosted both the Summer and the Winter Olympics in such a short span of time. So Beijing is able to do that now, and they are being hosted by the capital of China, Beijing, and the Hubei province. Okay, so Beijing, USA, Australia, Canada have announced a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics. That is, they will not be sending any officials to these games. Then the next question is, name the Chancellor of Germany who recently took office. Germany after 16 years had its first new Chancellor. Was it A. Boris Johnson, B. Emmanuel Macron, C. Ursula von der Leyen, or D. Olaf Scholz? Who recently took office as the Chancellor of Germany? Okay, the party that they belong from is Social Democrats. Angela Merkel stepped down after 16 years as the Chancellor of Germany, and the new one is from a coalition government headed by Social Democrats. So who is that person? Is it A. Boris Johnson, B. Emmanuel Macron, C. Ursula von der Leyen, or D. Olaf Scholz? The answer to this question is D. Olaf Scholz. He from the party Social Democrats has taken over as a head of the coalition government headed by his party Social Democrats as the position of Chancellor of Germany. Okay, so Olaf Scholz, after almost 2 months of negotiation over who should head the party, Olaf Scholz has now been declared the new Chancellor. Name the country that has hosted Summer Olympics the highest number of times. So once again related to sports, Olympics will be the area of news for all of you. So name the country that has hosted Summer Olympics the highest number of times. Which country has done them the most? Is it A, Australia, B, United States of America, C, France, or D, United Kingdom? Very quick answer to this question. So for those others who are also watching us live, you can tweet the answer, you can tell the answer in the comment box or the live chat option. Okay, I'll give a hint. The country that has hosted them the highest number of time right now stands at 4. Okay, 4 is the number of times. The next one is with 3. Okay, the answer to this question, as rightly pointed out by our viewer in the chat box, is B, United States of America. US has hosted 4 Summer Olympics. UK, France and Athens have hosted 3 times each. Okay, London and Paris will become the city with the highest number of hosts, that is 3. But USA has hosted them 4 times. Okay, they will host the 2028 St. Lucia, that will then make them 5. Okay, now name the Indian to have featured on the Time magazine's Person of the Year. Till now only one Indian male has featured on the Time magazine's Person of the Year. So who is that? A, Narendra Modi, B, Mahatma Gandhi, C, PV Narasimha Rao, or D, Virat Kohli? Who is the Indian to have featured as Time magazine's Person of the Year? A, Narendra Modi, B, Mahatma Gandhi, C, PV Narasimha Rao, or D, Virat Kohli? Think about your answers. There has only been one person who has done it in recent times. The youngest Time magazine Person of the Year is Greta Thunberg. She featured in the magazine during post the Paris Convention. Okay, so the answer to this question is the winner from 1930. That is B, Mahatma Gandhi. Till now, only one Indian, that is Mahatma Gandhi, featured as Time magazine's Person of the Year in 1930. 1930, Mahatma Gandhi featured as the Time magazine's Person of the Year. This is just prior to the civil disobedience movement and after the non-cooperation. This is when he was doing on a daily basis the work for the upliftment of the Harijans or Dalits of India. Okay, now name the country with the highest gold medals at Summer Olympics. This should be very easy. Is it A, China, B, USA, C, Soviet Union or / Russia, or D, Germany, or West and East Germany combined? Name the country with the highest gold medals at Summer Olympics. Summer Olympics, okay? Keep this in mind. Is it A, China, B, USA, C, Soviet Union or Russia, or D, Germany? All right. Let's reduce the time. We'll have 45 seconds to answer these questions, or rather 40. So the answer is correct. B, USA. USA has 1070 gold medals in total, with the highest number of individual gold medals also. So USA or United States of America has the highest gold medals. Okay, Soviet Union and Russia comes second. Okay, name the first Indian governor of RBI. This year, the RBI governor got an extension till 2024. Who is the first Indian governor of RBI. So RBI was a bank, Imperial Bank of India, prior to independence. Then there was a new, then it was renamed as Reserve Bank of India after independence. So who was the first Indian governor? Was it A. Shaktikant Das, B. C.D. Deshmukh, C. Benegal Ramarao, or D. I.G. Patel? The first RBI governor. First RBI Indian governor. Okay, the first one in history. This is a static GK question. Think about it. The answer to this question and the last one for the day is B. C.D. Deshmukh. From 1945 to 1949, C.D. Deshmukh was the first Indian RBI governor. The first Indian to be the RBI governor, it was C.D. Deshmukh. Okay, with this we conclude the quiz. Our viewer Mohammad Afsar, MD Afsar Jamal, has answered the highest number of correct questions. So thank you to him for tuning in and staying in all the longest and scoring the highest numbers. But that does not mean that you know everything. So if you are someone who is also preparing for CLAT and ALET examination, today at 9:30 p.m. I am hosting a special class to discuss the 2019 ALET paper. Okay, where we will discuss all the sections of the paper. First, the GK and the legal GK paper. The class will begin at 9:30 p.m. You can use the code KUSHGK to watch the class for free. It will be available on Unacademy's Learners app, so do tune in. What are Unacademy's special classes? Special classes are free interactive classes. That means you can ask questions in these classes verbally. Instead of typing in your questions, you can raise your hand and ask a question in real time. You will also be notified about these classes the moment they begin. And for the notes of these classes, you don't have to go anywhere, but just download the notes from the app itself. These classes can also be watched again and again as and when you want to. Okay, if you are also looking for a batch to prepare your studies for CLAT examination, you don't have to go anywhere except to subscribe for Unacademy. You can take a 6-month subscription if you are a CLAT 2022 aspirant and avail a 10% discount by using the code KUSHGK as your promo code when you enter the subscription details. With that, you will be able to get a 10% discount plus subscribers can watch all the content related to their category for totally free of cost. You don't have to just limit yourself to the current batches. You can watch previous content for free of cost also. So you can cover your backlog syllabus with this subscription. And if you are willing to test yourself, do appear for the Unacademy All India CLAT mock test, with rank 1 getting a iPad mini. Rank 2 will get an Amazon voucher of 10,000 rupees and rank 3 will get an Amazon voucher of 5,000 rupees, whereas rank 4 to 10 will get Amazon vouchers of 500 rupee each. So do ensure that you enroll now and participate in this mock test. Alright, use the code KUSHGK to participate for the mock test. There are also educator curated tests every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 6 p.m. You can participate them at the Unacademy app. And there is a marathon of classes going on with quantitative techniques marathon class today on the Unacademy app. If you want to know about NLU Lucknow or Patiala, you can tune in to our NLU War session on 18 December at 6 p.m. And the batch for 2023 aspirants is Success Law, while the batch for 2022 aspirants is Super Achievers batch. So with that note, thank you so much all of you. Thank you for tuning in to the legal game. If you found the quiz interactive, if you found it interesting for yourself and you want to test your friends with this quiz, share this quiz with your friends. See how many questions do they get correct. Compare your scores with them and let me know in the comment section about how many marks did you get, whereas how much your friends got. So Thank you so much for tuning in. Do give this video a like, and if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Thank you so much. See you all in the next one.